The Young and the Restless spoilers. 4 heartbreaking losses. These characters suffer crushing blows. The Young and the Restless spoilers. In the aftermath of Shattered Glass, a new kind of drama emerges in Genoa City. The spoilers are out, and they hit like a sledgehammer. The Young and the Restless is poised to deliver not 1, but 4 devastating losses, promising a season of anguish that will leave Genoa City's most formidable characters reeling. The headlines write themselves: crushing blows, heartbreaking losses, unimaginable suffering. In the well-worn playbook of daytime drama, this is the crescendo, the moment when the orchestrated chaos reaches a fever pitch designed to glue viewers to their screens. But what if we looked beyond the anticipated tears, the clenched fists, and the dramatic organ stings? What if, within this engineered tragedy, we can discern the faint, flickering outline of a more profound creative evolution for the venerable series? This isn't just about who dies or who leaves. It's about what their absence creates: a vacuum. And in storytelling, as in nature, a vacuum demands to be filled. The first loss, rumored to be a pillar of the Newman family, isn't merely a death. It's the removal of a foundational block from a carefully stacked Jenga tower. Victor Newman's empire, built on control and consequence, suddenly faces a consequence he cannot manipulate. This loss promises to fracture the Newman dynasty in a new way, not through business raids or paternity secrets, but through raw, unadministrable grief. The creative opportunity here lies in deconstruction. We've seen Victor as a titan, a schemer, a father. Can the show dare to show us Victor as a fragile, lost old man? Can it allow his children to step into spaces he once dominated, not with his cold calculation, but with their own, potentially flawed, humanity? The crushing blow is the catalyst to rebuild the Newman mythos from the ground up, with new materials. The second predicted loss, a romantic heart torn away from a core couple, follows a classic soap trope. Yet, in 2024, this cliché holds fertile ground. The surviving partner isn't just left to mourn. They are left to redefine themselves outside of a unit the audience has known for years. This is a chance to explore grief not as a plot device that leads to a quick new romance, but as a transformative, isolating journey. Will the show have the patience to let a character be truly, authentically broken for a season? To make poor choices rooted in pain rather than malice? To rediscover a voice they'd long subsumed into a we? The creativity lies in the silence between the dramatic moments, the empty side of the bed, the unset table, the unbearable lightness of a phone that no longer lights up with a familiar name. The third spoiler hints at a loss of legacy, not a person, but a birthright, a company, a familial truth erased. This is a blow to identity. For characters who have often defined themselves by their name, Abbott, Chancellor Newman, or their life's work, Jabbo, Chancellor Industries, having that stripped away forces a primal question: who are you without the logo on your office door? This opens the door for narratives of rebirth forged in humility. A scion working a menial job to understand value. A former CEO finding purpose in grassroots philanthropy, away from the corner office. It's a chance to let characters step out of their gilded sets and interact with Genoa City in a way that isn't about power, but about perspective. Finally, the fourth heartbreaking exit is whispered to be a moral compass. A character like Christine Williams, or even a younger voice like Kyle Abbott, should he choose a path of radical ethics. Removing the conscience of a social circle doesn't just create drama, it creates moral chaos. Without the voice urging restraint, forgiveness, or integrity, what do the remaining characters become? This is an invitation for the writers to let their antagonists breathe and even flourish, to allow alliances to form based on pragmatism rather than principle, and to let the audience sit in the discomfort of a Genoa City where the good choice is no longer being advocated for. It's a riskier, grayer, and more interesting world. The true creative promise of these crushing blows is not in the suffering itself, but in the emptiness that follows. For decades, The Young and the Restless has excelled at filling space with new characters, new schemes, new affairs. The innovative move now would be to let the space be, to allow the echo of loss to resonate through multiple episodes, to show business meetings where a chair is visibly empty, family dinners where the conversation halts because a specific laugh is missing, and mansions that feel cavernous not because they are large, but because they are hollow. This season could mark a shift from plot-driven tragedy to character-driven aftermath. It's an opportunity to explore the quiet, untelegenic parts of grief, the administrative hell of death, the bizarre kindness of near strangers, the anger directed at inanimate objects, the haunting discovery of a forgotten voicemail. It's a chance for the show's legendary performers to deliver not just monologues of anguish, but performances of profound absence. Furthermore, these losses can dismantle old, tired alliances and forge unexpected ones. Shared grief has a way of connecting the unlikeliest of people. Imagine Nikki Newman and Sally Spectra finding common ground, or Billy Abbott and Adam Newman sharing a drink not in rivalry, but in mutual, bewildering sorrow. The canvas of Genoa City is suddenly resorted, not by surname or stock portfolio, but by shared experience. Of course, the shadow of soap opera resurrection always looms. But if the show can resist the quick fix, if it can trust its audience to sit with complexity and discomfort, it will have done something revolutionary. It will have used the tools of classic melodrama, the shocking deaths, the tragic exits, to build something newer and more resonant, a long-form study of resilience. The spoilers promise heartbreak, but for the creative future of the young and the restless, they whisper something else: potential. The potential to prove that after 50 years, the show can still surprise us not just with how its characters suffer, but with how they slowly, painfully, and creatively learn to live again in the cracks left behind. The crushing blow is not the end of the story. It's the silent, empty, and profoundly fertile beginning of the next one.